Hey YouTube, John Ball Attorney here. I wanted to go over a pistol that I purchased a little while back. This is the Rossi 357 Revolver. This one holds 6 rounds, and as you can see, this one is empty. It is a 4-inch barrel. It's blued steel. It's made by Rossi. Rossi is a company that is owned by Taurus. They are a Brazilian firearms maker. I did a review of a Taurus revolver that I purchased a little while back that I have up on my channel as well if you want to take a look at that. My overall opinion of this gun is very favorable. I have not had any issues with it that I felt warranted sending it back to the factory or really having any complaints about it. There are a couple of issues that relate to trigger pull and shooting in general that I have with it, but certainly not the kind of complaints that I've read about on a lot of the message boards. So for me, the Rossi 357 Revolver, this particular model, chambered in 357, has been a great purchase. I've been very pleased with it. I didn't pay, but I think around $250 for this. It was a very, very reasonably priced gun, and for the number of rounds I've put through this, I've been nothing but happy with it. It comes with adjustable sights. You can see the screws right there up top as well. You have to take it out to the range, put a few rounds through it, make sure that you get the sight where you need it to be for how you shoot. Once I sighted this in, I had no problems with it. I used this revolver to qualify outside of Austin to obtain my Texas concealed handgun license instructor credentials, I guess you'd say, so that I can teach concealed handgun license courses. I use this as my qualifying pistol for the revolver portion of it because we had to qualify with semi-autos and with revolvers as well, and it shot perfect up there, so I was good to go with it. I've read the reviews about it. A lot of them are favorable. You'll get a lot of good favorable reviews out there, and for me those reviews have been accurate, but you got to be aware that there are reviews out there that say that the gun is not what you'd want a pistol to be. But for me, I haven't encountered that issue with it at all. It has been nothing but a very well made, well constructed gun. Blue steel finish, feels very well built. It is a heavy gun to hold. You know that it's a substantial gun when you're carrying it. When you're shooting it, it is certainly not a weapon that I would consider a concealed carry kind of gun. It's too big for that. I've tried to actually use it as a concealed carry gun. That was one time, and decided that just wasn't what this gun was made for, so I stopped even attempting to do that. So this for me is more of a range gun, or if I'm camping, it's a good gun for that. If you are long road trips and you're in a state where you can carry a pistol with you while you travel, it's a great gun for that as well. And because it's chambered in 357, it's going to be a very good self-defense gun. You go out and you purchase yourself one of these quick little speed loaders, carry an extra one of those with you when you travel. It's just about the same thing as carrying an extra magazine. I've done my homework on different ballistics, different types of bullets that are out there. What I'm comfortable in saying, and I am by no means an expert, is that the 357 round is a tremendous round for self-defense. It for many years was the standard for law enforcement. The main reason, as I understand, that law enforcement stopped carrying the 357 round is that you were really limited to 6 shots in the revolver, and when the semi-automatic weapons really started coming of age with the Beretta and their 92Fs and some of the Glocks that were put out that were able to carry 10, 12, 14, sometimes more rounds than that, that was a big selling point for law enforcement. So they ended up going with the guns that were able to carry more rounds. But the 357 is a proven round. It is a very, very high velocity round that is great for self-defense. Shooting 357 out of this particular handgun is a chore. when you shoot a 357 out of this gun, you will know that you're firing 357. It is a punishing round, and when you shoot it, you're going to get that recoil. You're going to feel it in your hand. The energy from that bullet will get transferred back into your hand pretty liberally, and it packs a wallop. So some folks may want to consider carrying this weapon or shooting it in 38 plus Ps as opposed to the 357 round. For me, I purchased it as a 357. I'd rather carry it as a 357 and carry the 357 bullets in it. I had done a review a little bit ago on this particular pistol, which is the Taurus 357 Protector Poly, which is Taurus's attempt to break into the poly market for revolvers. The recoil on this versus the recoil on this is very different. The recoil on this one is much easier to handle. Again, you know you're shooting a 357 with this one. Don't kid yourself. It's not the equivalent of shooting a 380 or even a 9mm. You're going to have your hands full, but for some reason this one carries some punishment with it when you shoot it. This is a steel framed weapon. This is a polymer framed weapon. They both have very large plastic grips on the back, but the steel frame, the heavier frame, for me, carried some additional punishment in shooting the 357s. In shooting the 38s, it was just a dream to shoot. Plus P rounds, it's a dream to shoot. Wonderful gun. 357 rounds, it's a handful, so that is something to consider. The trigger pull on this tends to be very heavy. It is a heavy trigger pull to get it all the way back. So one of the things you're going to have to do is get out to the range with it. You're going to need to get some practice in to make sure that you're comfortable with that trigger pull. It's double single, obviously, because it has the hammer, and when it is cocked and you're in single action, no issues at all. You're able to shoot that very accurately. You'll have no problems with it in single action. I can see where somebody that doesn't have a whole lot of experience, or maybe somebody with a little bit of a weaker grip, or somebody that doesn't like the heavy trigger pulls would have a problem with it. For me, a heavy trigger pull is something that I do kind of favor, and that I like the idea of being deliberate in shooting my weapon. It's the same reason that I'm a fan of Berettas. I do like the external safety and the external decocker on it. It's something that I just grew up around and something that I'm familiar with. That being said, the sights on this, easy to acquire, high visibility. They hold the sight picture, not sight picture I shouldn't say, but they hold their sight in very, very well. I haven't lost the sight on this yet, so I haven't had to readjust it. No complaints about it. It's a gun that I recommend for $250. It is a gun that you just cannot go wrong with. You will enjoy shooting it. You will be glad that you purchased it. I would recommend going to Academy or any other store that's close by to you that you think can offer you this at around $250, and I would take a very serious look at purchasing one. I've enjoyed it so far. Hope you've enjoyed the review. Leave any comments. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave comments as well. Thanks for watching.